Hello everyone. Today we're going to play a little bit of Dragon is Dead. This is kind of a partial overview, but also just some gameplay because I actually haven't finished Nightmare mode yet, which is basically the last thing to do in early access at the moment. Alright. This game is a great Steam Deck game, by the way. It runs perfectly, doesn't drop a single frame, and you get a couple hours of battery life. Anyway, the way I built my Berserker is he's built in strength, so he's got strength in every piece. He has core skill consumption reduction, attack speed buff. You know me, I love my attack speed. You know, actually, maybe I'll make a new one of these. Let me see, what one-handed swords do we have? Let's see here. Curious if you could actually re-roll this way. It's gonna take a really long time because this menu is slow, but... Nah, looks like it rolls the same every time. Alright, well let's go ahead and re-roll this. Alright, let's try to get strength on this. Projectile damage actually is not that bad, but we're going for strength. Max strength. Ironically, I think Diablo 4 system is like this right now, with the master working. Kind of the same thing. The game's got a desire sensor, and it's gonna stick to it and not give you what you want. But you also need to get a high roll, too. That's what's really bad about it. Come on, game. Max strength. At least 20 strength is my goal here. Oh my goodness. See it right there at the top. It rolls strength, but it's not giving it to me. It's a terrible roll. I hope it didn't save. I really hope it didn't save. Takes a long time to get back into this game. As much as our technology has advanced, still takes too long to get into gameplay on everything. Well, unfortunately it saved, so... You know, this one's actually not bad. We'll try one more time. Oh, there we go. Okay. Good. Alright. So now I have 168 strength. Alright, so this is an attack speed build with a little bit of defense thrown in there as well. So I've got this, which gives you extra artifact synergy, so when it exceeds 2, you get an extra point, which is actually really big. All legendaries. There aren't any legendary belts or boots right now, as far as I know, so everything else is pretty optimized. I think this game is pretty solid for early access, but it's missing more polish than content. Some things in this game are very unfair. The bosses in particular are very frustrating, mostly just because they don't really have patterns. It's more like they just do whatever the hell they want. So sometimes there are bosses that have attacks that don't really allow you to hit them back, and sometimes they'll just spam it non-stop. The problem with that is that your build can get invalidated by that really quick. You know, if you're a melee character like this guy, sometimes the bosses will just decide to do an attack where you have no window to retaliate. It's very frustrating. But this game definitely has like a Hades 2 level of content. It's got, I think they've got about half of the planned like levels and bosses in the game already. 2 characters. This is the second unlockable character, or playable character that you get after pretty much getting close to the end of the game. Take that. Also, some things don't scale very well, like, a lot of the soul gems kind of aren't worth taking, because they're just like such a minuscule stat boost. They're not really scaled for this harder difficulty. Alright. Don't have a lot of money. I want to try to get a build going. You know, it's tempting to take that. I think I'll take that for now. I'm gonna grab a key. Since my character is attack speed, what he wants is aggression, which gives you a bonus depending on your attack speed bonus. So you get more attack the faster you attack. Yeah, this is it right here, aggression. Alright, perfect. I've had a lot of people asking me about gameplay for this, so I figured I'd hop on the mic and play a bit. I have not finished this difficulty yet. It's pretty, scale is pretty hard. There's also some pacing issues with this game, like in the latter half of what's currently available in the game. What ends up happening is enemies will like spawn back in places where you already were. Can also lead to some unfair interactions as well. Alright, so I'm gonna grab Frenzied Strike for the attack speed boost. Get Madness Wave on the next level. They've actually been adding new legendary items in between major updates, which I think is really cool, because the thing about this game is all this stuff you're seeing here, all the stuff that's on your character, that stays throughout runs. So it's actually really nice to, like, hey, you know, this game's got beautiful pixel art. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to add new stuff to this game because of the level of pixel art that they're, you know, they built the game around. But they are adding new legendaries. They just added 4 legendaries to the game yesterday, so kind of built my character around those. Hopefully, there'll be some more later. That also might be a downside. You might not want to play the game until it's finished, because you'll have a lot more build options. Right now, Spellblade has a lot more build options. I just like playing as the Berserker more because I love my attack speed. Alright, there we go. Go for artifact. None of this really helps me right now. Go ahead and take the momentum. Another thing about this game is that you only get 9 or 10 artifacts, and I feel like that really stifles build creativity. Like, maybe you should be able to get a few more. But they are going to be adding more ways to get artifact synergy. Eventually you'll be able to craft legendaries, and there'll be a rare chance to get them, so I guess that's going to be one of the gold sinks of the game. That's a pretty crap roll. This game is a lot like Diablo. It has, like, max, you know, stats that can roll, you know, within a certain percentage, and you generally don't want to mess with anything that's not close to max roll. Alright, so I want to try to get some fury and aggression if this guy will put out here. Alright, there's an aggression. Could either re-roll or go for this. I'm gonna re-roll. It ended up being a bad decision. I can't afford another one. Well, wait, actually. There's a Fury. Okay. Let's grab the Fury. Have to go without some ruby keys, but got a little bit of a build going now. Alright, I'll roll with that for now, but It's not being very nice and giving me things I want. Me a lot of artifact drops, but not what I'm trying to build into. Alright, I'll grab that. I need to start looking for Fury, replace a lot of the junk artifacts and try to get Fury. Now the spider is kind of interesting because it actually has some semblance of a pattern. I think they wanted to, like, keep it random, but the boss after this one is a pretty good example of why having them just do attacks at random is not very fun. It can be very frustrating. See why if I get there. Imagine if I had Fury right now, doing even more damage. Alright, let's try to get some Fury. Got a little bit of money to work with. Alright, come on, hook it up, brother. I think I'm just gonna go for momentum at this point. I don't know, do I really want this? It's hard to decide. Let me see, how many spaces do I have left? I've only got one space left. I could probably get rid of this one. Got a good 3 slots to work with to get rid of junk. I think that I might just go for max momentum. Oh, there's one. Okay. Yeah, let's go for max momentum. Let's grab 2 keys. It was a no damage clear, so I didn't have to spend much on pots. Let's grab Cruel Strike. Get out of here. It's really going to be nice when crafting legendaries is going to give you a point in artifact synergy, meaning that you'll be able to have, like, a lot of extra points. Definitely feels like right now you run out of gear slots before, you know, even halfway through the game. That's why I think they should personally add a few more. I get that they don't want people to get too OP, but it does feel pretty limiting right now. pop that and grab this. Alright, just try to find momentum. Oh, there we go. Alright. Yeah, that's the best choice here. Okay, 6 momentum. So hopefully I can get another Fury. That's a pretty decent glass cannon build. Alright, this next boss kind of, should be obvious why people are complaining about hits done on bosses, and also them not really adhering to a pattern. This fight can go either way. If he's nice, he'll let you, completely shred him, but if you don't... And if he's not nice, then he will decide to, just kind of camp in the corner. Your standard, zoner enjoyer in a fighting game. Beautiful pixel art, though. Look at this background. Alright, let's see if he, cooperates. You want that attack? Damage. Nice. We'll check out some of these rolls here. This one's got pretty crap stats. This one is good for the Spellblade. This one's not great either. Yeah, not really a lot of good rolls this run. This is kind of what I don't like about this game, is you have so little space to work with. Be a lot more interesting if they gave you more slots. Alright, I think that's pretty much as good as the build is going to get with the spaces that I have. But then I lose the vulnerability. Well, I guess I don't need that then, huh? Alright, well, let's just roll with that. Let's get some numerical strength from here. Get a bunch of levels from here. Alright. Let's grab a couple keys. Alright, there we go. I think that was a good shopping trip. There's one nice thing about being so limited and how many artifacts you can carry, is that if you get this far, what ends up happening is you have a lot of money to spend on other things. Got a lot of numerical strength from that shop trip. Alright, key here. No legendaries. Alright, not gonna bother going for artifacts anymore. We've got pretty much the ideal setup. There's only 3 more bosses left. Changing the build right now is not wise. I definitely do think they really should add more slots, mostly because the game is not finished. There's not much decision-making with the artifacts past this point, because it's just too costly to change. Maybe they have that in their plans, they just don't want people to get too OP yet. But yeah, it definitely is a problem. Oh, man! Yeah, you get killed too quick in this game. It can be very frustrating. Anyway. The next boss was probably going to kill me anyway. That boss has a tendency to spam these, like, mud pillars, and sometimes he'll do it like 3 times in a row, and your character, unless you've built around dash cooldown, it's like really hard to dodge. I definitely would recommend this game. I mean, for $20, it's got a decent amount of content. I've played about 15 hours. I've beaten the game a couple times, but it's mostly polished. That's the problem. Balancing as well. The stuff does too much damage. Bosses will, you know, not allow you to play the game at times. The artifact system is fun, but it's kind of the same problem as Skull the Hero Slayer, where you just don't have that many spaces. So after a while, you just like kind of stop interacting with the artifacts. I definitely think that's kind of crappy, but it is cool how, you know, you get like a Diablo-style action RPG with, you know, roguelike stuff too. You know, I got a bunch of decent stuff here. Let's go ahead and do some inventory management before I hop off. I managed to make back almost everything I got in the, everything I spent on the gambling, so that's actually not bad. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this junk. That belt is not great. Kind of just looking for decent rolls at this point. Anything that's gray is just insta-sell. Blues as well. Yellows are worth keeping to either craft them into legendaries or if they're a slot that doesn't have legendaries yet. It's like I'm kind of keeping a lot of these right now. Let's get rid of some of these. All the ones that are low item level. So he's got a nice tuxedo kitty there as the shop manager. I definitely approve of that. Let's get rid of everything that's low item level. Alright. So probably up next, since my build is pretty much finalized at the moment with the legendaries that are currently in the game, I'm going to be working on the Spellblade next. So if you guys would like to see more of this, you can go ahead and let me know. And I'll try to get around to it soon. Alright, let's get rid of some of these crap legendaries. That one. You need 10 soul shards for each crafted legendary, so it's nice to be able to get rid of those. Alright, gotta do some inventory management here. Alright folks, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you want to see more of this, I'll definitely be playing it on stream over at my neighbor's house, most likely. This is a really good Steam Deck game because I can stream it and not get any performance loss. Sorry for the abrupt end of the run. That's kind of how this game is, especially as a Berserker. I was really built as a glass cannon, and I just wasn't paying attention. But the bosses after that, they all have a tendency to spam attacks like multiple times in a row, and you can't always dodge it. It doesn't feel completely fair, so you can either build around tanking so that, you know, if they decide to screw you over with bad RNG with their attack patterns, then you can take a little bit of damage, or you can build like my guy, and I've got a pretty decent handle on most of the bosses so far. It's mostly the ones in the latter half that I'm struggling with, obviously, because I get there a lot less. But, you know, if you build your character as a glass cannon, it actually can be relatively viable. It can actually be a lot harder to fight basic enemies than the bosses, because the basic enemies are a lot more unpredictable, whereas the bosses, despite having random patterns and how they attack, you only need to dodge a couple attacks, or they need to give you like one good attack and you can take off huge chunks of their health. So, thanks for watching everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow.